Okay, I figure it's about time for another update here. We had a bit of a close call this morning. Actually, let's back up a little bit. After, like I said, I finally getting some help from an old friend. We've known each other since we were 11 years old in Sunday school. And he's about the only one left of our group that's still up here in town. Everyone else has mostly moved to Texas, oddly enough, which is kind of where we wanted to go, but that's a separate issue. So we got a slightly less chaotic effort to try and help us out here. And efforts are being made. Unfortunately, the weekend happens, and we kind of got in a spot there for a while. We didn't even have money for Uber at this point. But again, somebody came through and found us enough money to pay for one more night and enough left over we could eat and still have a ride out of here if we need be. But still hoping that we can hopefully jar enough money loose from everyone out there to stay one more night and make it to the weekend. And it's kind of brought up a few things about social media, how unsocial it is actually. Not saying mean, it's kind of become a way for people to isolate themselves, really. Because it's like, we had to pretty much carpet bomb Facebook to finally get someone's attention. And I put up a post basically saying, this is an emergency. We need money for either the hotel or an Uber ride. And anything helps. And we had to post that thing, I think, between me and Steph, we about 150 times at least between each of us. So probably about 200 or 300 times we had to repost, because the feed goes by so fast. I said, I'm trying to stay a little bit optimistic, and it's like we're not being blown off, we're just not getting attention. But we finally got someone's attention who had helped us out before. And like I also said before, I'm really feeling a little guilty about the same few people throwing us like $100 at a time. It's like if just a few more would show it, and just $10 to $20, it adds up. Okay, I said even $10 would cover the Uber ride and maybe a hamburger. So it's like, just because you can't throw in $100 doesn't mean you can't throw like 5 at us. Okay. Because really, but yeah, we're muddling through here. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but the car, yeah, we got it paid off because somebody came through big time with enough money to pay them off, and unfortunately, now it's paid off and it's now mine because title's been signed over and all that, and I got the keys, but it won't run. The engine is that bad off; it will not ignite and go. So we need to find a new vehicle. And soon, hopefully, and that way we can get all the stuff out of the old car and then junk the car. And I'm hoping for a minivan. I saw a thing on Craigslist about one that would just about meet our needs. Just need to, replace the blown out back window. But otherwise, mechanically, apparently it's great, and the price seems about right. We just can't get a guy to come, respond. I'm going to try again later and see what I can do. But that's where we sit right now. And as always, PayPal, Patreon, Cafe Press down below. I'm also going to include our GoFundMe page that we actually started back in April of last year, I think. Actually, we started for other things, and now it's going to be useful again, I think, in this case. But PayPal is the most immediate thing because, yeah, we would like to be able to keep a roof over our heads for another night at least. Because I think right now the big thing is the weekend and Sunday, because a lot of stuff's being sent in by mail on checks, and of course that takes time to process. So, but I'd say still got that little 12% of a plan to get us out of this, and it's mainly being held up by the fact that we won't get paid ourselves until the 3rd, at which point we can do all kinds of funny things. But we're just stuck right now, because it's still a long ways off till the 3rd of August. But we got the cat out of the hoosgow, so we're all back together, such as it is. We just, need to buy some time until we finally get back under our own power. So, again, links down below. Anything helps really at this point, guys. Even if none that are hotel stay, because we're going other routes for that route really, but at least enough to at least get out of here, because we got too much stuff with us to carry and walk with. Okay, we got a big old suitcase, a couple of computer bags. Mine's about 20 pounds by itself really, and some other bags, and we'd be a pretty sorry sight dragging that stuff down there, and the cat in the carrier and a litter box. So we really do need actual transportation. And right now Uber's the best thing going until we can get our own thing. If someone wants to donate a car in the area, and that's an option, that would be, certainly not be turned down. But because all these people, all these places want to donate their cars to our place so you can get the tax write-off. Well, I can't promise you a tax write-off, but I can certainly promise you give your car a new home. At least borrow a car for a while. I don't even have to keep it because I'm. But yeah, I know that's extreme ass, but I'll put it out there. All right, and that should do it. And I know a lot of Discovery stuff's come out, and I'd like to get onto it, but this is a little more pressing need here. But I'll just say this: the props look okay. At least the prop department is kind of on the right page. You can argue it, about fitting with the cage, because you can say those are older weapons and this is the brand new stuff coming out. So yeah, you can jiggle it that way. But that's the only thing about it. Everything else on the show still doesn't fit. Anyway, catch you later.